Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs encounters video. Let's go ahead and let's share another scary encounter here. This one once again coming from the reddit.com website from the subreddit called The Truth Is Here. This one has to do with a scary sleepwalking experience, maybe even sleep paralysis episode. We've read those in the past, right? When it comes to certain alien visits or alien encounters that people almost think that it's happening in their sleep, but it turns out it's not. It's something happening in real life, but just the way that the things change or are changed in their mind, it almost makes it seem like it's completely different, like it's something almost like a dream. Or who knows, maybe it could actually be a dream itself. Either something self-induced or induced by the aliens too. It's scary stuff because you have no control really when it comes to your dreams. It's pretty much whatever is happening in your mind and there's nothing you can really do about it. But it comes from a user by the name of AmandaCan77 and they titled it Strange Sleepwalking Experience I Had as a Child. Anyone have a similar story? So let's go ahead and let's share that encounter here and then I'll give my own thoughts on it afterward. So here's what they state. Growing up in the 90s, I was exposed to a fair amount of aliens in the media. Movies and TVs like Independence Day, Men in Black, Mars Attacks, E.T., X-Files, Invader Sim, Alf, Third Rock from the Sun, etc. I can't remember anyone in my family ever taking any sort of particular interest in aliens, but they were always sort of around. I don't know if this media is why, or maybe it was my parents' open attitude towards the subject, but I never questioned the existence of aliens. I knew stories about people being abducted and crop circles, but I didn't feel like it presented any sort of immediate danger. I never considered myself to be afraid of them until my mom started asking me about it one morning, that is. So I've always been a sleep talker, well, more of a sleep mumbler, but when I was 9 or 10, I started sleepwalking as well. My parents would find me in the living room or the hallway trying to incoherently accomplish something. Most of the time they could just guide me back to my bed without incident. On one occasion, though, it wasn't so simple. When my mom came to check on me before she went to sleep, she saw I wasn't in my bed. And so she came into the room to look for me and noticed a small figure crouched in the closet. She asked me what I was doing and came closer to help me back to bed. But as she started to approach, I guess I started crying, mumbling about aliens, and then, sorry if this is gross, peeing on the floor. So she was shocked, and so she called for my dad to come help her. When he arrived, he tried to pick me up to comfort me, but I started screaming and then hit him in the face, something I'd never done before and haven't done again since. They had to let me cry myself out, mumbling about the aliens and don't take me again over and over until I would let them help me. My mom says she doesn't think I ever really woke up because I didn't say anything as she changed my pajamas and then tucked me back in. The next morning when she asked me if I had had a dream about the aliens, I didn't know what she was talking about. I had no recollection of anything that had happened the night before. She asked if being abducted by aliens was something I worried about often, and I honestly told her it wasn't. My parents never made a big deal about the occurrence. They just wanted to make sure that I was all right, but I was pretty embarrassed. And since I had no memory of the event, I wasn't left with any fear of aliens while I was awake, but I was left with a burning curiosity as to whether they would be back. Anybody else have an experience similar to this? And then that's it. That's everything that this user, AmandaCan77, stated in their encounter. So let's talk about that here. For starters, it was interesting that this happened to someone who, according to their own words, had an interest in aliens, but at the same time weren't skeptical of them. Like, they didn't seem to be hardcore fanatics of them, even though obviously she stated that she was someone that was a fan of fake alien stuff like Mars Attacks and Third Rock from the Sun and Independence Day. But it wasn't like she was doing research into them or trying to do anything to help, I don't know, some of them and so on. But yeah, otherwise she had an open attitude, which she also described her parents had. So this strange occurrence, this whatever happened with her at night just came all of a sudden, almost like a tsunami. Like it just happened all at once. And then also it was interesting that she delved into different categories. First being a sleep talker, then a sleep mumbler, and then finally sleepwalking. Reading that information, it's a bad example, but still, it reminded me of the movie Silent Hill. Remember how in that movie you had Lessa, I think that was her name, Sharon, or I can't remember what the little girl's name was in the real world, but there she was sleepwalking, mumbling, and then having something happening to her, like there was something summoning her from Silent Hill. So I wonder if there was this connection to here with regards to these aliens, these unnamed, unseen aliens, if they were in turn also trying to communicate with her little by little until finally it went to the full-blown sleepwalking episode. And then, of course, her stating something like crouching in the corner of the bed itself or in the closet, saying things about the aliens and don't take me again. It's too random, right, when it comes to that. I mean, who would say something like that and then not have it be something that occurred? Like, who just randomly dreams about that stuff? I know I've never had an experience like that. Knock on wood, hopefully, right? That stuff doesn't happen when it comes to dreams, let alone in real life. So makes you wonder exactly like what happened to her. What was this traumatic experience that they encountered? Or was it just a dream? Was it truly just some random occurrence involving a situation of whatever makes up dreams, just creating these images in her head? Just it's hard to say because she can't remember any of it. And her parents, it doesn't seem like they want to remember this situation, especially the dad, of course, getting shocked and hit like that because it was just so random too. But there she was, not having any memory of it afterward other than what her parents were telling her, and her wondering at the end if there's going to be another occurrence related to it. It didn't seem like it. I mean, the fact that this happened with her as a child, 9 or 10, and now all these years later and there hasn't been another occurrence, then that's good news. Or maybe it has happened, but she obviously just can't remember it just yet, like if there were other situations. But that's a stretch. One always hears about alien encounters just being suppressed, but then always having something causing them to come back up. So if something would have occurred, it would have been around this, like it would have been earlier or would have happened already by this time around. Scary stuff too. I mentioned that one more time, like how you have no control when it comes to dreams. You go to sleep, you're hoping that you have good dreams, you don't have nightmares, but imagine if you're having these kind of dreams and then you have no control over it. Obviously, there's stuff like lucid dreaming, the idea you can control like your dreams, but still happening, like these dreams actually happening, there is nothing that can be done about them. And so that's what makes it truly scary, because it could be a nightly experience and you have to sleep. So it's going to happen whether you want to or not. Truly, truly scary stuff. But if anyone is at a similar situation, then please post those comments below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, especially those of you that sleepwalk. I've heard about that too, not just obviously in the world of aliens, but it happens in regular occurrences too. And I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are with regards to that. Your comments, I do read them too here, so share them please, and then that way others get to see what it's like whenever you sleepwalk, what you remember, what happens afterwards, how you help control it, stuff like that. All right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.